Hi guys, this is BJ Hathaway here in Augusta, Georgia. What I wanted to do was share a drill with you that I'm actually working on. It's part of a kind of a major swing overhaul I'm doing on my own swing, and what I'm calling that is the Hogan Project. And there's some details on that on the blog on the website AugustaGolfInstruction.com if you'd like to look at that. So here's what I'm doing here. I'm going to take an old shaft without a club head on it, just for weight, and a towel. So what you'll see me do here is just fold this towel up into a quarter of a towel, place it underneath my right arm, get it situated where it's nice and firm underneath my armpit. I'm going to grip down on this shaft here to simulate where my right hand would already be. Then I'm going to take a good posture position and take the club up to the top of swing here. So the towel in this position is going to make sure my right elbow is not flying away. And also I'll check the position in a mirror, make sure that shaft is on a pretty similar angle to where it was at address, so I don't want to see a shaft position like this or anything over there. Then what I'm going to do is use basically my hips and my knees to transport that towel being connected with my elbow there back down to the position where the shaft is about parallel to the ground. And what I'll look for in the window or the mirror as well is to make sure that I look kind of what I call two cheeks coming into a near impact position to make sure that I can see that I'm turning enough. And I also want to make sure that this, what I call the hip plane, is pretty much congruent with where it was in the backswing and where it was at address, because I want to see that hip plane stay really, really close. So what I'm doing again is keeping the towel snug, trying to keep my right arm as bent as possible, and using just the turning motion from my hips and knees to transport this assembly down to parallel to the ground. And then if I were to simulate like this was a driver, obviously that's not impact, so I'm going to continue my turn a little bit further. And so somewhere about there would be about impact. And you'll see right heels coming off the ground because now we're definitely two-cheeked at impact. Bent right elbow, which supports the shaft, make sure club's not flipping from the wrist to get it to the ball. And I'll show you a face-on view here. And I do this pretty slow. So there's our parallel to the ground position. And so what I'm trying to do is eliminate too much sliding forward from the hips, which tends to make me lose posture and therefore lose right arm bend. All things that were not necessarily taught to me, but things I picked up over the years, which were popular trends. You have to slide your hips a lot in the downswing. Things that now I know are not best for my golf swing. And this is a little bit overdone as far as right arm being still bent for a driver, but again, the purpose of any type of drill like this is to overemphasize the correct motions, especially if you're trying to replace an old habit. So there's sort of a simulated position. You'll see I definitely don't want to be straight right armed at impact. That's going to make my head position come way up and make it much more difficult to be consistent through impact. And then on this one, I'm just going to demonstrate as if it was an iron strike, which would be the ball further back in the stance. And still a great deal of turn, still trying to keep this connected and this bent. And then I'll show you face on. What I look for is, again, I want a bent right elbow. Do not want it straight because I lose posture. So I think that's a very useful drill. It's something that's not high stress. You could do that like in sets of 25 at a time, watching yourself in the mirror. I have worked myself up to 1,000 a day, scattered throughout a day, doing 50 at a time, because for me it's an important part of what I'm trying to change in my golf swing. Doesn't mean you have to do that many, of course, but if you can do something like this in front of the mirror, watch yourself, do it slowly, it'll start to transform any bad habits you have with posture loss, right arm getting too straight, early extension, things like that, because you're watching yourself do it slowly and correctly. So that's what we're going to call the right elbow pivot drill, and I think you can definitely use this to become more consistent in your golf swing. So thanks for watching, and if you got any questions, let me know.